The most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in.
The Nagas, the seven-headed serpent, protected Buddha. So you find this specific iconography around the world. In the Book of Revelation, you find it as well. Medieval tapestries, pretty specific. The Gnostics, in fact, have their own seven-headed dragon. You have on the other side of the Atlantic, once again, the god Kukulkan, who has the seven heads, the seven-headed serpent. Now, Manly P. Hall, Madame Blavatsky, all the mystics talk about this ancient serpent wisdom, the seven-headed serpent, embodying the seven energy systems in the body and the transformative secret teachings that allow you to liberate yourself from over-identification with the body, with the temporary existence. So it's a metaphysical thought system taught around the world, I'll show. And the seven-headed serpent shows up with these wisdom bringings, these divine beings. Siberia, you find it. There's a shamanic seven-headed being. Even King Arthur fights the seven-headed dragon. The dragons and the serpents were the wisdom bringers. The druids were called the serpents. In fact, St. Patrick drove the serpents out of Ireland, although there's no snakes in Ireland. The Nagas, the seven-headed serpent, protected.
Just like from Godzilla, the Hydras, no matter how many you slash, the more heads will pop up. This one is crazy. I'd never seen this one before.
Here is the inventor, Daniel, and here are some of his photos. This one looks very much like an alien gray, maybe because it's gray, for instance. I'm not too sure. But this one looks rather bizarre. It looks something that belongs in a sci-fi movie. And this one kind of gives me Prometheus vibes going on right here. But for those looking at these photos, what are your thoughts on this? And we can discuss that before we continue. This one, we got the fire entity going on right here. Angel type entity. If people had this technology in hand, I mean, these would look slightly terrifying if you're looking at these. But if people had this technology in hand, would they reconsider what ghosts are, where maybe they could be these multi-dimensional entities instead?
That purple one was absolutely crazy. This looks like your normal alien, like she said. But let's get another shot of that purple one. This fire one, I believe I never seen before. That's new. It's like they're so different. It's not like we're seeing the same entity. They're like different creepy beings.
This one, we got the fire entity going on right here.
This one is crazy. I'd never seen this one before. What on earth could this be? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
People were just casually making water-powered cars in the 1990s. Check this out.
This is a car that runs on membrane
and fuel protests spreading across the globe.
assembly.
It almost sounds too good to be true. A car that runs on nothing but water.
Became popular in
And all kinds of water
2008.
will do. River, rain or sea, they all make this car mobile. Even tea works.
Tea.
Japanese company
Put a cup of tea in there.
unveiled the eco-friendly vehicle in Osaka. Once water is poured into the car's tank, an energy generator takes hydrogen from the water, releasing electrons that power the car.
The main characteristic of this car is that no external input is needed. The car will continue to run for as long as you have a bottle of water inside for you to add from time to time.
According to GenePacks, a litre of water will keep the car running at a speed of 80 kilometers for around an hour. The company hopes to go into mass production with a Japanese manufacturer.
Never
Car
happened.
users around the
Dissolved
world
within
looking for
12 months.
alternative fuels to power their vehicles, GenePacks may well have the solution they've been looking for.
What we have here is a car that's been set up to run on water. Basically, we got a water tank here. It used to be the windshield washer fluid tank. We got an electrolyzer. We got a heater. Heat comes off the exhaust and helps heat the water. And that goes through this. Everything goes through this hose. Starts here with the hose. See the hose coming off here, and then goes through there and goes through here, and it goes into the carburetor. This is the old gas line. You see the valve off. This is a 90-degree valve. That's on. This is off. That goes to the carburetor. I'll take the breather area, part of the breather off so you can look all the way around it, see there's no other hoses hidden or any crazy thing going on there.
You can retrofit an existing car. This is so many people have done.
Once you got all that in there, then feel free to walk back to the other side. And gas line is still disconnected. So make sure you show that when I. Oh yeah, well. We'll
They use vibration
okay, right now we're
and
putting water.
electrolysis. So
What we have here is just plain distilled water. You can use any kind of water, but this is what we got because it's sealed. Use spring water. You can use water out of your spigot. And you got the seal in there. And we're pulling the seal. And we're tasting the water.
I fast
Just
forward
good,
this
clean
bit as
water.
well, coming up.
And we're filling up our water tank.
If we get to the next one.
Yeah, and by the way, you get about, the cars that we've done like this, you get about, same miles per gallon unless you recycle water. Mostly what comes out of the tailpipe is steam, so that can be recycled. If you recycle it, you get about 250 miles.
We're just talking about the steam recycle. It's the way that it's more
Hopefully everything's
efficient.
set up right.
It's not traditional electrolysis, so it's not an energy redundant system where it uses more power than produces energy. And there it is, it's running.
Balloon Veteran has discovered a way, hear this,
Standing
to
Myers.
use water to run your car.
It's a major breakthrough that will no doubt make motorists happy. And as Ralph Robinson explains, the Pentagon is also showing lots of interest in this project.
Stanley Myers
Water
ended
has
up
always been
dying.
considered a precious commodity, but
After going
Stan
to a
Myers'
cracker
invention
barrel.
may make it even more valuable.
He drank his cranberry
what's called
juice,
a water
walked out,
fuel
died.
cell. It has taken
His
the place
brother
of his
thinks he
old
was
gas
killed
tank.
for inventing
The water
this
fuel
vehicle.
cell breaks down water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen. The hydrogen is used to run his dune buggy.
I don't care if you use rainwater, well water, city water, ocean water. If you don't have any fresh water, go ahead and use snow. If you don't have any snow available to you, they use salt water because there's no adverse effect to the fuel cell.
Myers started working on this project 4 years ago. He's not a scientist. He isn't even a chemist. In fact, he never graduated from college. Myers was determined, he says, to design something to protect this country from oil embargoes.
And we've calculated that if we take the dune buggy from Los Angeles to New York, we would roughly use 22 gallons of water.
The Pentagon flew a lieutenant colonel in last week to look at Myers' invention. There's talk of possibly using it in the Star Wars defense program and to run army tanks. Myers is currently perfecting a water fuel cell for cars. It will cost about $1,500.
The Pentagon
won't need any
got
maintenance,
involved.
and you won't have to replace it. It'll be at least
then
2 years before the fuel system goes
he's
into
gone.
mass production. The day it happens will be one the fuel industry hates, but it'll put a smile on the face of those who've had to say at one time or another, fill her up.
People were just casually making water-powered cars in the.
This rapidly evaporating liquid helium.
People were just
This rapidly evaporating liquid helium cools until at 2 degrees above absolute zero, a dramatic transformation takes place.
Suddenly, you see that the bubbling stops and that the surface of the liquid helium is completely still. The temperature is actually being lowered even further now, but nothing particularly is happening.
Ordinarily, this container with tiny pores can hold liquid helium. But the moment the helium turns superfluid, it leaks through. Superfluid helium can do things we might have believed impossible. It appears to defy gravity. A thin film can climb walls and escape its container. This is because a superfluid has zero viscosity. It can even produce a frictionless fountain, one that never stops flowing. This rapidly evaporating liquid helium.
Did you see that fountain? How crazy was that? If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. And I love to see you tomorrow. So let's get straight back into the action.
To make his generator work, John Searl had to overcome many problems. Most of these occurred with the shape and design of his magnets and in the behavior of their magnetic fields. How can you make a round magnet orbit another round magnet without stopping or flying off? He studied the behavior of a bar magnet and a round magnet.
There's something wrong with it. It's got a turning action on it. It's tormenting me. That must deck to go straight. I placed it on and it kept straight. And not only did it keep straight, it freely moved up and down. What happens if you make a ring?
He knew magnetic fields could be impressed or printed on certain materials using a magnetizer, a device common to shops and factories that use magnets.
The question that baffles scientists is why, when 3 was on, they just run round and round. The picture here was there was 2 states involved here, and of course there is.
The 2 states referred to the 2 magnetic fields printed at right angles to each other. Both the roller and the plate had independent magnetic fields, one vertical and the other radial from the center to the rim.
Clearly, the magnetic field was completely different to the magnetic fields we knew of. For some reason, why they were different, at the time I had no idea.
The intersection of these 2 fields produces a wave that carries the roller around the ring, although this wave was unknown at the time the phenomenon was present.
So we got fields at right angles. That's why the whole thing moves. If you haven't got 2 fields, it won't move.
Now the 2 key issues for the production of electricity were present in a totally new generator design. The electrons were available in the rare earth material. The magnetic fields induced the roller to run on the plate.
We didn't even know what the field looked like till a few years ago in Germany when we remade a segment. I said, well, let's have a look at this field. And we dusted it with very fine iron dust, shook off the surface. Do you know what that looked like? A bicycle wheel. That is the field that makes this work. Any other field won't work. That field does it. So we know that the magnetic field can be set to perform functions quite different to what we were taught in my day at school. And I think we're only scratching the surface of magnetism.
Was this thing a generator? It created an extremely high voltage, but John Searl had no control over it whatsoever. With each experiment came a new set of questions.
My magnetism is not your magnetism.
Could it be that general magnetism contains multiple bands, a magnetic spectrum, exactly the same as white light contains a spectrum of colors?
Magnetism is identical to light. In a way, that's how I look at it. They're identical, they're pairs.
John Searl used a combination of AC and DC current when magnetizing the components of his generator.
If we isolate the particular band we want and then print that, we have something different, we have a wave.
This is the Searl effect, the intersection of 2 magnetic fields creating a magnetic wave that can be measured and amplified. John Searl designed a generator using magnetic fields to induce a flow of electrons from a rare earth element through a system of rotating magnetized components so that those...
I wonder if that rare earth element is mercury.
Electrons would be collected, compressed, used, and recycled. Magnetic forces and electrons in motion, the 2 key issues necessary for the production of electricity.
Is a condition where you can get a wave in a magnetic sense, like a wave, a sine wave, and they act as a river. Now they're stationary until reaction effects take place, and to do that you have to sit a cylinder on it, magnetize, and then that wave goes into motion. Now the roller placed on that field, it floats. We know it cannot touch that, it's too dense with energy, so it'll float. So we got something floating there, then if this wave is moved due to reaction between this plate, this roller and this plate, then that wave is going to carry that regardless, so the roller maintains.
What if he had it wrong? And we look at the pyramids today, and you think about how they had the cylindrical spirals going under the pyramid. What if this was going upwards like that, rather than just a clockwise motion? It was going a clockwise motion upwards and downwards. How much more effective would the energy be if that system worked?
During its constant flight, though it's now running many times faster, it does not fly off.
The magnetic field is holding the roller tightly to the plate. At the same time, the electrons moving through the layered elements are collected and compressed on the surface of the plate, lifting the roller and creating space between the roller and the plate.
So the roller flies around and doesn't roll around. As it moves, the field is being rewritten all the time. So the field never diminishes. It cannot diminish because a magnetic field is in constant running order.
The energy, or electrons, moving through the system recycle. The rare earth element attracts new electrons that also move through the system and recycle. Because of their negative charge, the electrons compress, causing the drop in temperature and creating the energy field that radiates from the generator.
In 1956, I was soldering. I had to produce another unit, and this time we wasn't powered it up. I wanted to try to meter up things to see what the oscilloscope was showing me, and it was accidental that when I took the hot iron to solder the wire on, I couldn't solder it. Something from the machine was cooling things faster than you could heat them. That was accounting for some of the behavior of those early models. Counted for why, when I got hold of it, I was stuck to it.
John Searl created a generator design that became a superconductor, producing extreme cold and incredibly high voltage that caused it to lift off the ground. But could he control this flying disc generator?
Are they using that same technology under the pyramids, and could it possibly been generating? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Drastic changes have taken place since the worldwide flood. Let me show you some examples. Horsetails used to be over 100 feet tall pre-flood. Sharks? Yeah, good old megalodon, 80 to 90 feet long. And humans? They were larger too.
Here's my shark tooth, if you haven't seen it before. I bought it at the Roswell, New Mexico meteorite crash. Not me looking for the hands, like where's the 6 fingers?
A man in China claims to have found a dragon skull. Check this out.
The dragon skull that they found in Romania?
A man in China claims to have found a dragon skull. Check this out.
The dragon skull that they found in Romania? Apparently someone was digging a well and stumbled up on what looks like a dragon skull at the bottom of this well. And this sent me down a rabbit hole. The Chinese use dragon bones for medicine. Now, this dates back like 5,000 years ago. Not only that, but the dragon is the only animal on their astrology chart that would be considered missed. All the other animals are out there, and it's odd that the dragon isn't even on there. The fact that dragons have been talked about through all of history, all over the world, it seems like everybody's connected with these dragons. I find it odd how hard it was for other cultures to communicate with each other, but not only that, I find it weird that one of the subjects that's going to come up is be like, do you hear about them dragons? Because I doubt that's one of the things you're going to talk about to a completely new culture. But I don't know. Maybe the dragons are out there and we just don't know it. Maybe that's the ones that live beneath the earth. Everybody keeps saying lizard people when it's actually dragons.
Fangs are never as...
Kind of does look like a dragon or platypus. I don't know if it was a UFO or what, but I stopped as hard as I could look for it to try to get a better video. That's about as best as it's gonna get. Damn, it's always so blurry.
A charming cosmetic container in the shape of a duck. The wings pivot outward to reveal a storage compartment. Ducks were a popular decorative motif in ancient Egypt. A charming cosmetic container.
I thought it was like sandals or something, but it is very unique.
Temple of Horus in Edfu, Egypt, was built atop much older ruins, dating back to the time of Ramses III. It was constructed over the course of 180 years, under a series of rulers during the Ptolemaic period in Egypt. The Temple of Horus in Edfu.
I'd love to know what these walls are saying.
The acoustics, right here. Patty, can you demonstrate the acoustics? So you could sing, or have an oratory, give a speech right here without amplification, and 14,000 people could hear you.
What in tarnation do y'all got going on here?
Scoot up some. Oh! Oh! It's about to break the horse back.
You sit up. No, not you. Sit up on the horse. Sit up. And put your feet in the front. You can't lean on him. You gotta lean in the middle. You gotta get in the middle.
Oh! He breaking the horse. Oh, Black! Black!
hey, mama, he good. He good.
Mama, he's all right. What about the horse? All right, guys, we got a drone that went inside Area 51. Let's check it out. They got that out of there quick, didn't they?
Hey! Get out! Merlin? One more man! What
Something was up top. That's good editing or whatever it is. Self-powering ether energy harvesting street lamps. All right, let's check this out. Not only were they efficient, but their designs were marvelous as well. That's wild. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop Saturday Action as the code word in the comments below. It lets me know that you're a real one and you made it this far. And I just want to say thank you. Your support means the world to me. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you tomorrow.